Welcome to Inside Plug, the podcast where independent creators and entrepreneurs connect and inspire. I'm your host, Devon Jones, a military veteran turned filmmaker. I found my spark in the military, and now I'm here to help you find yours. Inside Plug is a platform for your voice, stories to be shared, and ideas to flourish. Let's dive in and plug into creativity and entrepreneurship together. Today on our podcast, we have Winnie Khaw. She's a writer, idea generator, and a filmmaker. I met Winnie last year, or about last year. We were on a screenwriters panel, and I was fascinated about her story, and that's what drove me to have her come on the podcast and share her story. And we have her here today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome Winnie.
Hi, thank you so much.
Hi, welcome to the podcast. So, when we were at the screenwriting panel, you were discussing how, like, for writers, it's some would say that it's a challenge to, like, come up with ideas, and that's like you say, like, it's like your field where coming up with ideas and trying to put it together to make stories. What would you say? How would you describe your creative process when it comes down to that?
I probably start with the definition. I wouldn't call myself an idea generator. It's more like an idea incubator or like a concept gopher.
All right.
Because people will, when I started screenwriting, especially for, I would do freelancing, and there would be concepts people don't really want to pursue themselves, but they would kind of commission me to do it. Um, or I do it in collaboration with other people. I to come out of idea out of nowhere, I wouldn't know how.
All right. So when you're collaborating, well, how would you say the process is? Do they usually come with you saying, "Hey, this is what I got," something that you can bounce off, or is it something that you go to them saying, "Hey, I'm trying to, navigate an idea. This is something that I'm thinking about."
Mm, when I hear that people have this burning story they must tell, I often don't know what that means. Instead, what I'm looking at this point is, what do I want to find out? Because the most limiting advice I've heard is write what you know. You don't know what you don't know yet. Eventually, at the end, when people have achieved mastery, they'll get to know what you write. But in the meantime, I write what I want to find out. And I might bring that up to my regular writing group. Everyone should have a regular feedback group. um, and when they might have like let's say a scrap of an idea or something they've been working on before they haven't developed to its fullest potential, and then we'll kind of like take hit the ground running with that.
All right. Nice. So, you said, so they're trying they're coming to you. They're telling you that the definition of their story. So are are you leading their story, or you're just guiding them with what they already have?
I think I'd like to think of it as enhancing
All right.
the core,
All right.
so that it bring out what is most important to them. So that they don't lose, like the people will often like, oh no, I have to edit, I see these notes, I can't kill this darling. um, Sometimes people cannot even identify what their darling is.
All right.
um, so then I make note of that, and kind of um, help make adjustments.
All right. All right. Nice. All right. And how did you get started doing that? What's something that that inspire you to, okay, this is what I want to do when it comes down to their story and me helping them with their story?
Um, well, I when I first started writing for others, it was freelancing, which is the bottom. I would be at the bottom rung of many different fields, whether it's with advertising or with screenwriting or with people want some really strange things written for them. Um, and and I was also a romance novel, very small romance novel copy editor. Okay. but I think I really like listening to people, hearing what they have to say, and then helping them to put it in a way that others will want to read.
All right, nice, nice. Um, yourself, have you written a screenplay or a spec script, and what was your first project?
Yes, I have written them, and then I found out to my horror, oh, don't list too many quarterfinals, semifinals. No one cares. It's just a list. Um, yes, I have written feature length scripts, and also TV pilots, treatments, story bibles. Many of them were ghost written. But wow, I got a lot of experience, knowing what works and what doesn't. And I think my first one, it was a conversion from a short story to a script format.
All right,
Yeah.
nice. And how did that do? How did that
How did that do? I think I realized, oh, maybe what sounds good on paper is not actually filmable. And this is why especially in the last year or so, I've been, okay, I need to do shorts so that it's manageable and filmable. So I understand that this is very much an audio visual uh, goal I'm trying to meet.
all right? And with writing your own script and helping others writers with their projects, what would you say is an obstacle that you challenged?
Uh, Wrestling with just me and the empty page and that blinking cursor.
All right.
I think when people are idealizing sorry, not ideal, romanticizing the writing process, it's just a series of decisions. And you're gonna have to snip and cut, and 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 there's uh eventually it'll come down to a lot of it will come down to formatting to fit the requirements. um, when I was trying to do it, for example, like poetry. Wow, oh, I'm supposed to go by lines. Manuscript, a fiction. I have to do formatting. I have to hit the a word count. Not hit it. Sorry. Don't go above it. Screenwriting. Oh, it's by page. Um, and these are not useless to know, because so that for the ease of the reader, who is the poor editor who has to go through the slush pile, consider for them.
Mhm.
I've been on the opposite end, and I really sympathize.
All right. So when it comes down to projects, do you have a specific genre that you navigate to, or you're open to whatever is coming at your way?
Mm, because I'm not really an original story uh, uh, person. The genre is not that important.
All right.
Uh, I tend to gravitate toward stories that feature family of origin and family of found family. But this is can apply not just to people you're related to, but the other people in your life, your workplace, any kind of group dynamic is a family.
Nice, nice. All right. Any projects that you want to talk about? Like, so you say you you helped on some projects and you wrote some projects before. Where can the audience find some of your work?
Okay, right now, my friends are and I are working on a short film script. But let's see. Previously, I submitted to a few fellowships, so those will take several months to find out the results. What else have I done? If you okay, don't do it, but if people did Google me, they would probably find like essays. They'd find like analysis.
Mhm.
They would find my homework that I posted as like well, it's free and people could use it for and have been using for assistance with their assignments.
Mhm.
um, or because I tutor, so in history or in literature, they would find that, and maybe not like filmmaking stuff.
Nice. So do you have like a creative process that you do before you dive into whatever it is you're doing? You know how like some people maybe they might listen to music or they might go for a walk or something.
Mm. Uh, I set before I start, I'll set aside a time because there's always a distraction. There's always something that will call me away. Um, I pray. I pray.
Mm-hmm.
And I do take I think I try to keep generally active physically and mentally so that when I sit down I am able to focus. And so the best productivity tip I've learned is to be able to be bored. Then the I just not relying on input to or muse to stimulate that process is extremely important. Regularity does work. You just put yourself in that mindset. Anywhere becomes an environment to create.
It's interesting. Interesting. All right. So there's this big word that it's not a big word, but there's this word networking that gets thrown around. You know, like it's most would say it's hard to meet other creators or get in the same room with them or even get them mentioning you, and collaboration can be difficult for a lot of creators. How would you say you quote unquote network?
Um, okay, one thing I haven't had like a stupendous success with working in film. So keep that in mind. But when I spoke at a high school for their career day as a writer, and one of their questions was when they asked, like, when you go to film festivals, do you meet famous people? Do you what do you say? What is IP? Um, and actually, I found out after the fact. I did meet famous people, but I didn't know at the time because, like, oh, there's a man who's maybe like almost 7 feet tall. He's a Wookiee. He played like a character on the Mandalorian, but I'm not aware of it, and actually that's okay. Um, the best advice I heard was from an actor who has a feature film out now going the indie route circuit, but he started with the short and he was an actor and now he's like a director, kind of more in charge of his own film. He said it's not who knows you, it's not the people as person, sorry, it's not the person you know, it's who knows you, who trusts you to collaborate with you. And for that you have to have a track record. You have to be reliable, and it's more important to be cooperative. Oh, I'm going off what he a little bit beyond what he said at this point, but to be cooperative and work toward a shared goal rather than charging ahead and like, and I am the auteur. I am the diva. It's pointless to pursue a career this way.
Nice. All right. So, do you have any social media handles or any websites that you want to have the audience maybe they can follow you to see what you have going on next, and look up some of those essays that you said. Where can people find
Uh,
find out about you? Where can people find your pages?
I need to update all my social media stuff. Maybe LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. All right.
I think that's kind of up to
All
date.
right.
I was still bringing like the paper business cards to film festivals. And then I was like, oh, Instagram. That's yeah.
All right.
I think because my writing is um quite a lot, and so it's not very suitable. Um, so LinkedIn.
Got you. All right. So yeah. So let's go back to those a little bit real quick with the essays and the other scripts. What would you say would be good practices for new writers, like writing exercises or like things for them to kind of get a feel for, so they don't. Everyone gets writer's block, but like to somewhat kind of navigate around that, or like to get over that, so it's not too long of a writer's block.
Yeah, so it's not like the dry, arid period of one's life.
Mm-hmm.
Go out, do something that you have not done before. Um, I think when people get very fixated on an outcome, they cannot enjoy the process. Ideas simply will not come. So I think even taking up a hobby, or I think this really helps. Or learning a new language. This can help too. They might seem like sidetracks. They're not. They all contribute to the writer as a person, and the writer as a person is going to inevitably influence the writing. So hopefully there's no long term possibility for writer's block.
Nice, nice. All right. Anything else you want to add to tell the audience before we wrap up today?
Yes. When people meet people outside of your field. Like if you're a writer, get to know actors. If you're an actor, get to know also directors, producers. No one is an enemy. I saw that. I think people kind of like they tend to isolate into groups, and then they don't learn about the filmmaking process as a whole. um, I think this is not a good development. Uh, yeah, and also even outside of like entertainment industry, that's just one part of relationships, right? You can know. I really enjoy knowing teachers. I enjoy getting to know data scientists or analysts, or people who are coming back to school. Actually, that has probably been one of my uh, steady passions. Not really writing so much as um, I was volunteering for an ELL class for Mandarin speakers, and I found out, oh my gosh, I'm starting to understand Mandarin.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been that knowing other languages, it enriches um, my understanding of English. It probably deepens my appreciation for its flexibility, and also see in how many ways uh, knowledge can permeate my life. Knowing is important, and that perspective, and sense realizing context. Everyone will have a different approach to the story of their life, and they're not many writers. They're not actually active protagonists in their own life. They might not realize it, but they're letting forces, systems, establishments, um, industries block their vision. Yeah.
All right. All right. Final question. All right. If you can give the audience a book, a TV show, or a film to watch, a book to read, TV show to watch, or a film to watch, what would you? Which one would you? What's the name of it, and what category? Good
uh,
recommendation.
I wish I had time to prepare because I have so many now. I have a huge list. I am reading a book called The Art of Travel, but I hope I pronounced this name correctly. Elaine Baton. And well, I don't have to leave my couch to go across the world. No, it's not like that. But I really want, especially if people are dry for for inspiration, to read the works of other people, especially in areas they're not used to. Reading about history, philosophy, travel, all. But that one's my right now, right now.
All right. What was the name again of the book?
The Art of
The
Travel.
Art of Travel. All right. Perfect. All right, everyone. So we talked about some ideas, we got some inspiration, and you got insight. Thank you for tuning into Insight Plug. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and found it inspiring. Every journey begins with a single step, and every creator has a story worth sharing. If you love what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us bring you more content. Remember, we're on insightplug.com. That's 2 G's, insightplug.com. Until next time, keep creating. Devon Jones signing off. Stay inspired.